If you always say it was nothing, it may have been something for a very long time. Not because you're dramatic. Not because you want attention. But because somewhere along the way, your mind learned that pain was safer when it was smaller. So you shrink it before anyone else can. You say, "I'm fine," when you are not fine. You laugh while explaining something that actually hurt. You tell yourself other people had it worse, so you should not feel this much. And over time, the habit becomes automatic. Something happens. You feel the impact. Then almost immediately, another part of you steps in and says, "Do not make a big deal out of this." That second voice can sound mature. It can sound reasonable. It can sound like perspective. But sometimes it is not perspective. Sometimes it is protection. Because if your pain was ignored, mocked, compared, or treated like an inconvenience, your brain may have learned a painful rule: the less you need, the safer you are. Maybe when you were upset, someone told you that you were too sensitive. Maybe when you tried to explain what hurt, the conversation became about how you were reacting, not what happened. Maybe you were surrounded by people who could only handle your feelings when they were easy, quiet, and quickly resolved. So you adapted. You became skilled at editing yourself. You learned how to make sadness sound casual. You learned how to describe disappointment without letting your face show too much. You learned how to say, "It's okay," before anyone had to sit with the fact that it was not okay. And this is why downplaying your pain can feel so natural. It is not just a sentence. It is a strategy. It says, if I make this small enough, no one can accuse me of being needy. It says, if I dismiss myself first, no one else gets to do it. It says, if I pretend this did not hurt, maybe I can stay close to people who do not know how to respond when I am hurting. But here is the cost. When you minimize your pain for long enough, you do not just hide it from other people. You start hiding it from yourself. You begin to doubt your own reaction. You ask, am I overreacting? You replay the situation from every angle, searching for permission to feel what you already feel. You compare your wound to someone else's wound, as if pain only counts when it wins a competition. And slowly, you become more loyal to the idea of being easy than to the truth of your own experience. This can show up in small moments. Someone makes a joke at your expense, and you smile because you do not want to seem fragile. Someone cancels again, and you say it is no problem, even though part of you feels unimportant. Someone crosses a boundary, and you convince yourself it was probably not that serious. You may even comfort the person who hurt you, because their discomfort feels more urgent than your own. That is not because your feelings are weak. It is because your nervous system may be trained to restore peace before it is trained to protect you. So the first reframe is simple, but it may feel uncomfortable. Your pain does not have to be extreme to be real. Something does not have to destroy you in order to matter. You do not need to prove that it was bad enough. You do not need a courtroom of evidence before you are allowed to say, that hurt. Pain is information. It tells you where something touched a boundary, a need, a memory, a fear, or a hope. It does not always tell the whole story, and it does not mean every reaction should become an accusation. But it deserves to be listened to before it is dismissed. If you want to start changing this pattern, begin with the tiny moment right after you minimize. Notice the sentence. It was nothing. I'm fine. It could have been worse. I should not care. Do not attack yourself for saying it. Just pause. Then ask, what would I be feeling if I did not have to make this smaller? Maybe the answer is sadness. Maybe it is embarrassment. Maybe it is anger. Maybe it is the ache of realizing you wanted care and did not receive it. You do not have to announce that feeling to everyone. You do not have to turn it into a confrontation. The first step is not exposure. The first step is honesty with yourself. Try one small sentence. That hurt more than I wanted to admit. Or, I am allowed to be disappointed. Or, this may not be the biggest thing in the world, but it still affected me. That sentence matters because it interrupts the old reflex. It teaches your mind that truth does not have to be dangerous. Then, choose carefully who gets access to the fuller version. Not everyone deserves the unedited story. Some people will turn your pain into a debate. Some people will rush you past it because your feelings make them uncomfortable. But safe people do not need you to package your pain perfectly before they care. Safe people can hear, "I know this might sound small, but it hurt," without making you defend your humanity. And if you do not have that kind of person yet, you can still begin by becoming that kind of witness for yourself. Because healing is not always about making your pain louder. Sometimes it is about making it honest. It is about letting a feeling exist without immediately shrinking it, decorating it, joking it away, or comparing it to someone else's life. You can have perspective and still have pain. You can understand why someone did something and still admit it affected you. You can forgive someone and still name what happened. You can be strong without pretending nothing touched you. So the next time you hear yourself say, "It was nothing," slow down. Ask whether it was truly nothing or whether you learned to call it nothing because calling it something never felt safe. Your pain does not have to be the worst pain to deserve care. It only has to be yours. And that is enough reason to listen. If this video helped you understand yourself a little better, subscribe to Cognivi and leave a like. It helps us create more videos like this.